Let's talk about it. So there's a secret life hack out there that most people don't know about, don't care to learn about. And it's kind of like wild to me that when you spot this phenomenon, this literal cheat code, you tell other guys about it, they don't give a fuck. They don't listen. And see, that secret cheat code, the power drill is the greatest tool to get you from fucking being broke ass nigga to start making at least six figures. Like within the first 6 months, you should be able to make six figures. And it's not even that difficult, to be honest with you, because you're competing against nobody. And see, what people don't understand is like learning how to use a power drill. And when I'm saying power drill, I just generally mean just manual labor, man work, building things. It's fucking open game. It's Wild Wild West. There's infinite work. Literally, the reason there's going to always be infinite work in the power drill and how the power drill can save your life, or just a hammer, a nail, learn how to use any type of like tool from Home Depot will pretty much get you paid forever. There's always things that have to be fixed. There's things that always got to be built, things that always got to be fixed. Those are like consistent, no matter where you go across the board in any fucking life or anywhere in land that you go and walk upon, things got to be built to fix. And there's only so many men to do it. See, this is why like people don't understand. So you got to really think about like a population. If you really think of a population on a bell curve, are of like working service age. So if you take like 100 people, half, at least more than half the population is women. And then out of the guys that are left, how many guys are really like military age, fighting strength, full capacity, can do everything? We're talking like from 18 to about 45, 50, maybe if we're pushing it. How many guys are in that particular range? There's women that have to be serviced. There's old people that got to be serviced. And then kids are just working with the parents. So there's only a small fraction of men that can pretty much take on this work. So if you become one of the guys that just tries, like to be honest with you, don't even have to be like a great business owner. You just got to know how to fix things. And just by necessity, people will reach out to you if you just go hire somebody on staff to fucking do your marketing for you. And it's just infinite money printing. Like specifically, I put up TVs for a living. That's like my gang. But you also get asked to do other things. Like there's drywall repairs. People need to put refrigerators installed. And so you start to realize how much work is in a single house just to maintain it, just to have it operating. And if you can realize that I can do maybe like 70 to 80% of the work, because those people are always going to need help. They're going to have friends that always need help. And there's always going to be neighborhoods that need to be helped. Like literally, say if you didn't even have a car and you say you live in a suburb, you can literally take over a suburb. Take over a suburb. You just walk to everybody's house and say, hey, I'm a repairman, I'm a handyman. Let me know if you need any work in your house. You can walk around the neighborhood, hit 100 houses, leave flyers for people. It's impossible to lose in this game. Like the only way you lose is just not showing up, just not even trying to play. And see, what makes this so interesting is because man work will always be around, but it has to be done by a man. And so you'll never have to really compete with women. And I'm not saying women can't do it, but what are the chances that a woman's really going to walk around with a hammer and a nail? How many women are really signed up to do that? Like, you got to really think about this. And that's not even just women. We're talking about how many dudes are signed up to do carpentry. Like, I'm a dude. I don't know how to do carpentry. I would like to go learn someday, but there's not a lot of guys who know how to do this particular like work. So essentially, your market, there's nobody to compete against except for yourself. So it becomes a game between you and yourself. That's all you're playing against. How many people can I go talk to and introduce myself to? And if you have just a little bit of hustle, like I'm not going to even lie to you, I'm a lazy business owner. I stopped kind of going around the places and leaving cards. I just let my internet shit do the work for me. And I just started 6 months ago. So I'm telling you out there, if you got a truck, even if you're just doing power washing and you're washing people's windows or washing driveways, bro, you can rake up shop, just do it in a neighborhood. Just go through each neighborhood. Hey, you see your neighbor's house? I did theirs for free. I'm running a special today. Would you like to take a part of this to get your windows washed? And everybody got to get their windows washed. It's something that has to be done. But who really wants to go out there and wash windows? Especially if you live like a 2-3 story house. Who wants to fucking do that? So that's who you're competing against. Nobody wants to do this shit. And that's what's so fascinating to me. Because what I realized in a man, there's always money to be made out here. There's infinite money to be made because there's so many problems nobody wants to touch or even try to solve. None. There's too many problems to be broken in this world. And all you do with the power drill, you're just solving people's problems. I want that picture hung up there, but I don't know how to do it. Can you solve this for me? It's that fucking simple. Most guys are terrified of going into unknown territory and being like have to do something on their own with nobody teaching you. There's like you might have a coach or you might get like I didn't really have a coach. I kind of just sat back and observed and watched other people. But I learned through the repetition and taking my time and measuring math. Now you get a system, and then once you become fast at it, bro, you're just knocking jobs out. 3 or 4 jobs. Like real talk. Most TVs I ever done a day, done about 10 TVs in a day. I did 7 at one house and 2 at 2 or 3. And you just realize, like, okay, it's 15 minutes to 20 minutes for each TV. Bang, 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 bang. That's $1,000. All is just repetition. Yeah, that's it. That's all the game is with the power drill. It's just different variables you got to account for. But the actual is the easiest part. It's just the math part that fucks a lot of dudes up. And so that's what you also start to realize. Not a lot of motherfuckers are good at math. Most people are not good at math. So if you're physical, have decent people skills, just able to show up on time and not be high or drunk, I mean, it's impossible for you to not succeed in the fucking service business or home service business, corporate service business. Whether you're cleaning toilets, taking trash out, putting furniture together, you can't lose. And I want a lot of you guys to understand. There's a great rumbling coming, and this great rumbling will be known as the shit economy. Let's see. Wait, what was that minute at? This shit economy, fellas, is due to the 2030 crash out. There is going to be our abnormal amount of single women are going to be in society. Well, just single people in general, but especially single women. Because once again, there's the great principle of life. Who's going to open the pickle jar? And there's certain things women just can't do. They just don't have the physical capabilities to do it. So they have to hire a guy. And that just goes across the board for anybody. Generally, like there's some things you have to hire people for. Like my toilet gets super fucked up. Listen, I know a little bit about toiletry. I know a little bit about toiletry. I don't have all the expertise of a plumber. So I'm liable to fuck my shit up worse than I am to actually get it right the first time. So chances are, especially if it's something that has to be done. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like your service is so valuable because she has to get it done. If it doesn't get done, like life is fucked up. It's like if your refrigerator is broken, what are you gonna do? Sit there with a broken refrigerator? How long can you sit around with a broken refrigerator? So you either gotta buy a new refrigerator or somebody has to come repair it. And so if you know how to repair refrigerators, that's a much better solution than somebody going out to go buy a new fucking refrigerator. Because a new refrigerator shit, that might cost you, or you can get your shit repaired for $300. So like think about that. Like, so you can walk into somebody's house, know how to fix refrigerators, just for like what, an hour or 2 hours of work, maybe if that. Especially if you know what you do. You guys spend an hour to diagnose. And that's what guys need to start understanding. Your competition, there's nobody. You dominate the field. We have a really bad situation coming in 2030 from just all the cumulative damage of doing degenerate shit in America. We're finally going to pay the tones for it. And so what you have to realize is these young dudes that are coming up, most young people are not skilled. The millennials have basically been failed to be taught how to be like sufficient men in society. There's very few men that actually know how to be sufficient in society and do actual real man labor. All the older guys of the past generation, they're dying out now. Like the average age of a plumber, I think was in New York, was like 50 years old. All the old guys who are doing good, who are not doing good, but all the old guys who used to work in this shit, they're leaving, they're retiring. So there's a huge gap. I don't think you guys realize this gap or this chasm is only going to grow. You will have too much business. That will be the issue for you. You have to figure out, how do I train enough people to send them out to make more money? Because that's going to really be your biggest limiting factor when it comes to home servicing. Now it's just about like you could just still work for yourself, man, and just rack up $500 to $1,000 every day, just showing up bullshitting because you know how to do something they can't do, and they can't find anybody else to do it, and it's so necessary that if it doesn't get done, yeah. So since you're dealing with nobody, bro, the world is yours. Yours oyster. All you gotta do is just go out and go get it. The supply and demand. I know I keep reissuing and re-harping over this, but there is nobody doing it. Nobody's volunteering to haul shit away from people. Nobody's volunteering to move stuff, make a moving company. Nobody's volunteering to fucking build furniture. Nobody's volunteering to build decks, competing against yourself. You can tell these niggas any price because promise you, just think about the logic of it. Within a city, how many people actually build decks? How many people you think need built decks? If the person has the money, and that's what I think a lot of people keep. Like, who's going to build the decks? Who's going to carry the logs? Nobody. There's nobody to carry it. So it's all you. So just bid crazy. And here's the thing. You could bid such crazy bids. There's people with cash that just want to get shit done and they don't care. They don't care about the money. They're just like, just get it done. I've heard stories of guys say, look, whatever you bid is your job. We just want to get it done. We've been waiting for a year and a half. We can't get anybody to do it. And see, that's just going to be a real situation. I don't think you understand. There is so many people that have had projects waiting for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, sometimes even a year. Even a fucking year, because they can't find somebody to do it. So if you're willing to do it, you put yourself out there, get a power drill, learn how to use it. I'm going to provide more information, how to use the power drill, how to get known as a guy who uses the power drill, and teach you how to make some cash.